Ever feel like you're watching a slow-motion car crash, but you can't look away? The latest chapter in the royal saga isn't just about headlines. It's about a man seemingly unraveling in real time and a family fortress closing ranks with a chilling, silent finality. This is Royal Report 24/7, and if you're fascinated by the real power plays, the unspoken rules, and the human drama behind the palace walls, you need to stay with us. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because what we're uncovering doesn't just break the news, it explains the earthquake that's coming. The words crackled across the London airwaves this week, not from a tabloid columnist, but from a respected broadcaster. Pathetic, desperate, undignified. The target? Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. The context? A television appearance so seemingly incongruous, so bafflingly timed, that it has left royal insiders, we're told, not just angry, but profoundly confused. According to multiple reports from within the palace ecosystem, this wasn't just a misstep. To them, it was a flashing neon sign of a prince adrift, a man whose actions are now being interpreted behind the gilded gates of Buckingham Palace as a cry for help, or a declaration of war. But to understand why this particular moment has sent such shockwaves, we need to rewind the tape. The background hum to this entire crisis is a sound King Charles III has been trying to silence since the day he acceded to the throne. The sound of instability. The monarch, insiders say, is a man obsessed with legacy, with streamlining, with presenting a slimmed-down and impeccably professional monarchy. A monarchy where every move is strategic, every smile is calibrated, and every public utterance serves the greater good of the institution. Into this vision of quiet efficiency, the exploits of Harry and Meghan have consistently played like a dissonant, jarring chord. Now, let's be clear. What we're discussing here are the interpretations, the whispers, the analyses from those who claim to be in the know. The palace itself maintains a dignified, icy silence. But that silence, according to sources speaking to outlets like The Times and the Daily Telegraph, is deafeningly loud with disapproval that what allegedly happened. Reports suggest that amidst a period of intense, private family strain, following Harry's fleeting visit to the UK after the King's cancer diagnosis, a visit where he reportedly did not meet with his brother, the Prince of Wales, the Duke chose to engage in a televised interview or appearance that was, by all insider accounts, spectacularly off-message. The details are murky, but the adjectives from palace circles are not. It's being described as unforced, bizarre, and entirely self-referential. The content, sources hint, may have veered back into well-trodden ground of personal grievance, at a time when the family narrative was meant to be one of unity in the face of a health crisis. The timing, we're told, was seen as not just poor, but calculatedly insensitive. This is where the historical pattern becomes critical. From the Oprah interview to the Netflix series to Spare, the royal playbook in response to Harry and Meghan's revelations has been to steely ignore. Don't engage. Don't rebut. Let the institution's sheer, centuries-old weight speak for itself by saying nothing at all. It's a tactic of supreme confidence and supreme detachment. But insiders suggest this latest incident has shifted something. The emotion leaking through the cracks isn't just frustration. It's a colder, more final kind of disappointment. The words pathetic and undignified aren't just insults. In the royal lexicon, they are lethal. They speak to a breach of the fundamental code. Dignity above all. And what are the other key players in this drama? The Princess of Wales, Catherine, recovering with her family, is said to be, according to friends, beyond hurt and focused solely on her health and children. Her absence is a silent, powerful reproach. Every day she is away, the public is reminded of what sparked this most recent, painful chapter. William, we are told, is totally focused on his wife and his father, his protective instincts in overdrive, creating an impenetrable wall around what remains of his immediate family. The distance between the brothers isn't just geographical now. It's existential, which brings us to the most poignant, and some say desperate, figure in all of this, King Charles. Here is a father battling illness, a king trying to secure his reign, and a man caught in a century-old trap of duty versus blood. Reports suggest a profound, personal sorrow. There is, we're told, still love for his son. But that love is now in brutal competition with the sacred trust of the crown. Insiders whisper that Charles fears Harry's path is not just damaging to the family, but to the very fabric of the monarchy's public contract, a contract based on mystery, discretion, and service without explicit reward or complaint. Harry's modern, therapeutic language of public healing and truth-telling collides violently with this ancient model. To Charles, some analysts suggest, every interview is another brick taken out of the palace wall, and he sees himself as the chief mason, desperately trying to rebuild. Oh, why would Harry do it? Why, at such a delicate time, would he reportedly engage in an act perceived as so provocative? This is the multi-million-dollar question. Some close observers, like veteran royal biographers, speculate it's a sign of his isolation, that his commercial deals in the United States require him to stay relevant, to keep his narrative in the spotlight. Others suggest a more psychological drive, a son still crying out for acknowledgement, for a specific kind of love and apology he feels he was denied, and using the only megaphone he feels he has left. And then there's the darkest theory, floated in the corners of the press, that it is a deliberate, if subconscious, effort to force a reaction. Any reaction from the silent, stoic fortress of his birth family. To make them feel something, even if it's rage, because indifference is the one thing he cannot bear. The aftermath, according to the grapevine, is a new level of frost. Communication, already reduced to a trickle, is now said to be virtually non-existent outside of the most essential legal matters. Plans for any future UK visit, even a potential ceremonial one, are described as utterly stalled. The door, which Harry perhaps believed was still on the latch, is now being described by some as not just closed, but bolted from the inside. The Harry and Meghan file, one source cruelly quipped, has been moved from active crisis to historical regret. But this story is far from its final chapter, because for every action, there is a reaction. The Sussexes have built an empire on their narrative of escape and revelation. The institution of monarchy has survived for 1,000 years on adaptation and silence. This is a clash of fundamental identities. Every bizarre appearance, as labeled by the palace camp, reinforces the Sussex brand to their supporters as one of brave transparency. And every silent, scornful headline from London reinforces their narrative of a cold, unfeeling institution. The tragedy at the heart of it all is human. It's a family that no longer speaks the same language. Where one side sees dignity, the other sees repression. Where one sees desperation, the other sees survival. The words pathetic and undignified are not just assessments of TV spot. They're a verdict on a life path. And as long as that gap in understanding remains a chasm, the world will watch, fascinated and horrified, as this real-life royal drama plays out on the global stage. Point one thing is clear, according to every insider we monitor. The point of no return is not on the horizon anymore. It may well be in the rearview mirror. The next move from either side will be decisive. And we at Royal Report 24/7 will be here, sifting through the whispers, analyzing the patterns, and bringing you the context behind the headlines. This story is evolving by the hour. The whispers in the corridors of power are growing louder. To make sure you don't miss a single crucial update on this and every other royal development, tap that subscribe button, ring the bell, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you believe is shaping this narrative? The palace with its silence? Or Harry with his megaphone? Let us know, and together we'll watch the story unfold. This is Royal Report 24/7. Thanks for watching.